Welcome to All the Gear But No Idea, the South Australian fishing podcast hosted by Rhodey and Diz. The boys will share their tall tales of the one that got away, as well as some regular segments they know all you fishing tragics will enjoy.
G'day and welcome to All the Gear But No Idea. We're up to episode 8 and we've got a fantastic one for you today. Mick Wilson, RecFish SA Chairperson. We're going to have a chat with him later on today about all things RecFish and some of the recent announcements. It's going to be a great episode. Rhodey, how you going, mate?
I'm good, mate. Loving life. Ready for another big episode of All the Gear But No Idea.
It's going to be a good one. And we had a good response, didn't we, after last week's episode? What's your thoughts?
Yeah, no, the listens have been good. We've had plenty of positive feedback, and a big thank you to Minister Tim Whetstone for coming on and answering all our questions. That was a really good episode, I thought.
It was fantastic to hear from him, and I think now we're just going to be drip-feeded some constant news about his major announcements, so it'll be great to keep the listeners up to date with everything that's going on. And, Brody.
So the date has ticked over and they've started the action period of the buyback of the licences. So hopefully we'll get a bit of an update here and there about how that's going and what's happening with all that.
They have, and Mick's going to give us his perspective and RecFish's perspective later, so we look forward to hearing that. Let's get into oranges and lemons. Rhodey, what do you got for us, mate?
The orange has got to be the COVID restrictions are opening up. We have a long weekend coming up very shortly and we are allowed to go away. We're encouraged to go away, so we're going to head over to Yorks, do a bit of fishing, nip up to the Clare Valley for a bit of a bonfire. We're going to get around the state, get around the regions again. We're back on the travel. That's my orange.
We're hoping to have a beer at Bill's local watering hole, aren't we?
Yeah, we'll be down the stump, I reckon.
Absolutely. It'll be good to see the troll man. He's been on the tractor for a while, hasn't he?
He'll be up to no good. He'll be up to mischief.
Absolutely. All right. Well, look, my orange for the week. I got out. Thanks for posting that on the media, mate. Got onto a few whiting. Didn't get the bag, but it was nice to be able to find a little spot that we can fish in some pretty ordinary weather. It was blowing a bit for our boat. I'm sure if we had a nice big boat, it would have been no dramas getting out there, but it was ordinary weather by our standards, so it was nice to get amongst them.
Yeah, I think that's always been our problem, really. When the weather's played the game, we've often got on the fish.
Yeah.
But those days are few and far between, aren't they? And you've got to have plan B, plan C, plan D.
You do. So
we're chipping away at some different ideas.
You do. That's good. Brody, what's your lemon, mate? What's been bad in your week?
Well, this is a real bad thing, and I'm not sure anyone else is aware of this. It's actually not quite winter yet. Did you know that?
It's awfully cold.
Mate, we haven't hit winter. Winter is actually June, July and August, so we're not even in the coldest part of the year, and it's cold.
I'm going to turn that into an orange, though. The whiting should be getting better. They should be getting better.
Those winter whiting are still to come.
Yeah, that'll be good. All right, my lemon. It's been really depressing. Some poor feedback from some listeners. I've been saying what a treat a bit too much on the episodes. So thanks for nothing, all you listeners out there, not giving me the heads up that I'm giving that much, far too much of a run. I'm going to settle down on the what a treat.
So I'm halfway through listening to the first 7 episodes back to back with a little counter, counting how many times Dizzy does say what a treat.
There's a meme on this.
My counter's really struggling. It's getting overworked. It's overheating. I had to give it a break.
It's not good. All right, that just about does oranges and lemons. Let's hook in to the fishing news. Rhodey, what have you got for us this week, mate? What's happening around the state?
Now, a few concerning intruders in our waters. Number 1, the Asian paddle crab has been spotted for the 3rd time in 12 months.
Not good.
And it has the potential to have a mega impact on the fishery. Diz, where have they found it?
Well, the most recent sighting was definitely in the Port River. I think the first recorded sighting they had was at September last year, caught from outer harbour. But it's really concerning. I think they're concerned these appearances continue to pop up because it threatens our blue swimmer crab population significantly, which is certainly a draw card for the state. We do very well on the blue swimmer crabs. So importantly, if you're out there and you're trying to get some late season crabs, if you see any, then get on Fish Watch, report it.
Take them out of the water, I assume.
Take them out of the water, report it straight away. If you've got the app, you can do it on the app on your phone. It's really easy. I've had a look at that throughout the week, so get around it. And there's another introduced species that we don't like the look of already. What's been happening there, mate?
Yeah, so there's 3 different types of introduced mussels: the Asian green-lip mussel, the brown mussel, and the New Zealand green mussel. And similarly, they're wanting you to report that to Fishwatch if you come across one.
Yeah.
That was a bit of a tongue twister there, but I got through it. We will share some pictures of the mussels and the introduced crabs, so you guys can all keep an eye out for it. Help Fishwatch out, and if you do come across them, let the authorities know.
Absolutely. All right, and there some very recent news: new shellfish reef to be built at Glenelg. There were 3 sites. Already, where were they? Where were they thinking?
So the other options were O'Sullivan Beach and Port Noarlunga.
Yes.
So they had 1,500 opinions given on the Your Say website.
Yes.
I reckon quite a lot of them came from our listeners because we plugged that pretty hard, didn't we?
We did.
So
We went
probably
hard
we're
on it.
partly to thank for this result. And they also took a bit of scientific advice into the account and came up with Glenelg was the best option.
It's a big project, isn't it? They're pouring a bit of money into it, 1.2 million. It's going to be an Adelaide oval-sized area which will be converted into a reef, and it's hoping that it's going to bring some species and some marine life back to the area, isn't it?
Yeah, so it's going to be a limestone base with hatchery-raised oysters deployed over the next few years to cover it over, and that's aiming to imitate what used to be the reef that covered much of the South Australian coastline prior to dredging, water pollution and disease. So construction will start September 2020, so not far away.
It's fantastic. We've got to keep this going. There's one down there, we've talked about it before, Windara Reef off
Rogues Point.
Rogue Point there. Yep. So that's really good. We need more of them in the state. It'll be fantastic.
And I reckon if they put up a reef the size of Adelaide Oval, you might even be able to pull a fish out, mate.
Doubtful.
You never know.
You never know, you're lucky in a big city. All right, Evinrude, stopping production of outboard motors. This is pretty big, Rody.
It is, isn't it? They've got to
This
be
is
one of
big
the,
news.
one of the big 3 or 4 outboard companies, I would have thought.
They do, backed by a big company.
And yet the company is BRP, and they're moving away from producing outboard motors. They're going to focus their attention and their finances on their boat building. So they're involved in companies including Sea-Doo, Stacer, Quintrex and Savage, just to name a few. And they're funneling their money in that direction.
I would have thought Sea-Doo would do very well.
I reckon they certainly would too.
I would have thought a lot of those companies would do quite well. So that is quite surprising news to me. It'd be good to hear your opinions online, guys, because we know nothing like a good debate on which outboard's best. We might be able to get something going on.
So they are still going to honour warranties and supply parts for a period into the future. How long that is, I'm not sure.
Yes, yeah, it'll be interesting. Anyway, that does that. Let's get into the tuna survey. They've released the 141-page document. You being the book nerd you are, I'm sure you read them all.
Yep, so I just got through the whole 141 pages this afternoon. Very good article, study I'd call it, from the University of Tasmania's Institute for Marine and Antarctic Studies. So we did mention this briefly last week, but the full report is now out. Australia's allocated 35% of the world's southern bluefin tuna catch, which equates to 6,165 tonne. 5% of that is allocated to recreational fishing across Australia.
Am I reading this right? 102 tonnes are estimated to be caught in South Australia.
Yeah, out of a total of 270 tonne.
We do well, don't we, in SA?
Certainly do.
That's
Certainly
fantastic.
do. So 75 tonne of that was caught recreationally and 27 tonne on charter boats. What do you reckon the average size fish was that the recos caught in the last 12 months, Diz?
I couldn't tell you, mate. We have not caught enough for me to be able to tell you the average size.
Well,
what was it?
if we put into account your little sort of 8 and 10 kilo jelly beans and Flacky's big old 90 kilo beast, you come out at 14.4 kilos.
Unbelievable.
And that's across 5,203 fish.
I reckon we would have pushed close to some 14.4s that time.
I reckon that first one at Carl was 18 kilos, wasn't it?
Yeah.
I think that's the PB.
That might be the PB. That was a good fish.
But I reckon that'd be about the only one we've caught over 14.
Yeah. Interestingly, 22% of recreational fish were released.
That's good to hear, isn't it?
That is.
Yeah.
It's good. And that's what our good friend of the show, Stu, was talking about. He loves that, getting out there, catching them, releasing them, getting them back into the fishery. It's all about the thrill of it, isn't it?
Certainly.
Absolutely. All right. Well, that wraps up fishing news for today. Now's our guest.
Welcome to the show, Mick, Chairperson of RecFish. How are you, Mick?
Good, mate. Yourself?
Yeah, we're good, mate. We're very good. How are you surviving the new normal of COVID?
Finally getting allowed out fishing again, so it's good, mate. Being able to wet a line, and other than that, it's been home life and wishing we were fishing.
Yeah, that's exactly right. And really great for you to come on to the show today, Mick. Thank you very much for the time, mate. We're going to go through the 5 questions we have for every guest, and we're really looking forward to your answers, mate. So let's get into question number 1. Tell us about your best fish.
My best fish would be probably the metre 45 Murray cod I caught up at Cadell a few years ago.
Oh, that's
impressive.
One. That's a good one.
Yeah. So she was well over 100 pound.
Oh yeah, was that what'd you catch it on? Lure, bait? What was it?
On lure, a lure that my mate had made a couple of months earlier, and it was sort of a test project thing, and so it all just went together.
Hard body or spinner bait? What sort?
Hard body. It was a 110 mil lure project Titan. Very hard to come by, but if you can find one to grab onto them, that's for sure. But,
does he sell the lures, or it was just a bit of a hobby?
No, he was selling them, and then he had a couple of kids, and obviously time was restricted, so he hasn't made a few in a little while. But they are in the system. There was over 1,000 made, so there's a few about. What
are they called, Mick, so we can keep our eye out?
Lure Project Titans.
Make sure you write that down at home, guys.
Yeah, for sure. Yep.
Yeah. Rhodey's been chasing the dream of catching a big cod. We do go on a few missions up some creeks, but never been. Certainly haven't got one that big, so we'll have to keep our eye out for the lures.
It was a serious fish, and caught in 2.5, 3 metres of water. It was all pretty interesting. It was all go.
Yeah. All right, Mick. What's your favourite thing about fishing?
Just being outdoors, being at one with it. It's a time to relax, and you can forget about everything else. So you go out there, you pick up a rod, and basically that rod isn't a race, it's a life, and you can just enjoy whatever time you have on the water.
Yeah, absolutely. You're not wrong there. And I think this coronavirus thing has really got us to appreciate that a bit more now that we can get out and about. Being cooped up at home is not the way to go, is it?
We take things for granted, We appreciate the little things in life, and then when they're taken away from us, it's a big deal. So I think you're spot on there, dude.
Absolutely. And Mick, so one of your first fishing memories, mate, or what got you into fishing, I suppose it was being outdoor, your love of it?
Oh, yeah. My granddad took me up the river from about 18 months old once a month, and we did a camping trip, and that sort of grew my passion for the river and the outdoors, and then obviously fishing come with it. And we fished with hand lines back in the day, and we used to catch our own shrimp, and we did quite well on the callop, and we still do that to this day, so that'd probably be it, I reckon.
Yeah, beautiful, Mick. What about your funniest fishing story, or tell us about the one that got away?
Funniest fishing story. This was a tough one. One day we were fishing. We had we always fish Shimano Corrados. We just they were the duck scuts reels. So we had them, and we had combos. They were all stacked up in the rod holder behind us. We're standing up on the front deck. First couple of minutes of having a cast for some golden perch in the summer, and I cast my lure and hooked 4 of the rods that are standing up behind me, flicked them over my shoulder into the water. Joel, my partner, jumped in, grabbed all 4 rods and put his rod down, what he thought was in the boat. Once we got back in, pulled all the rods in, Joel's looking for his rod. His rod's gone. He's dropped it over the side of the boat.
Spewing.
So we start casting again, and then all of a sudden we look down the river and we can see a lure floating. So we go down, pick the lure up. It's Joel's lure off his rod that he's thrown in the water.
So you got it back?
We pulled the lure all the way in, and we got it back.
Oh, perfect. That's the best.
So lesson learned, don't ever stand the rods up in the boat, always lay them down.
Yeah, well, I was just about to say, mate, I laid my rod down once in the boat, and our front latch on our little tinny, Rhodey decided to stamp that across the front half of my rod and snapped it in 3. So you're a bit damned if you do and damned if you don't in some respects.
Yeah, I guess so. It's spot on.
Mick, what's your favourite sort of fishing, mate? Out on the river, we're hearing a bit about that.
Probably, or just lure fishing in general. I just love the challenge of lure fishing a bit more than the bait. Like jig fishing, jigging for sambos and kingies. That's awesome fun. You get stretched. Your arms come home 3 inches longer. That's probably up there with my favourite as well. And then we did a trip we towed a boat from Adelaide to Exmouth last year.
Oh, wow.
And we fished Exmouth when the Game X comp was on.
Wow.
And chasing marlins probably, up there with the highlights as well. I reckon up there with number one.
Certainly a bucket list fish that we'd all like to tick off, I reckon, the marlin, mate. Now, tell us about the RecFish. Tell us about what you do, what it involves, and just let the people know a bit about it for us, Mick.
So RecFish SA is the peak body for recreational anglers in South Australia. We basically represent the 277,000 fishers in the country, or in the state, sorry. We do small projects at the moment with the funding taken away from us a few years ago, but we've recently won an award for stocking and opening up the reservoirs. We've got plenty of runs on the board. We're currently going through some negotiations with the marine scale reform and what it would look like for us. And we hope to be involved in that and get everyone's point of view, so then we can go to the government and say this is what we think should happen with it. They've announced some money, so it's good to see. It can only be better for rec anglers going forward.
Yeah, absolutely. There's been some big announcements later, and we were going to get your opinion on that just a bit later. But Mick, you've obviously been involved in RecFish for a long time. Have you been the chairperson now, or what's your storyline on that?
Well, I came into it probably 4 years ago, I think it was, and was just helping out with projects along the river, like we did some Murray cod and some catfish research.
Yeah.
And then that sort of grew into a position on the board, and then the opportunity arose for the chairperson, and I was probably the silly one to put my hand up and give it a crack. But look, it's been challenging, don't get me wrong, but I love it. My passion for bettering fishing for everybody, not just myself, is second to none. So, we've got an excellent board at the moment. We've got a great crew of people, and we all want to do the same thing. So.
Yeah, no, we've been following your work, and it sounds like there's plenty of good things that are sort of going on or being talked about. How do people get involved? How do they join up to RecFish, mate?
Anyone can join RecFish. Just jump on the website or hit Alex up on Facebook and just apply. You can become just a affiliate member, or you can become a full member for $50. That'll get you involved in it, and anyone can enter the board as well. So if you want a board position, you can nominate at the AGM and put your hand up. Everyone's welcome to it. There's not a single person that'll get knocked back unless you've obviously committed some crimes, or everyone knows that you're a bit of a wanker. Other than that, you're on as a member, and then you can go forward from there.
Yeah, it's fantastic, and certainly if you're into recreational fishing, it's the way to go. So we'll make sure we get that up on the social media pages and get around it, because we have seen there's a fair bit going on the social media at the minute, mate. There's the battle of the species. We're down to the last 4.
Yeah.
Who's got your vote, mate? Who are you voting for?
Oh, I try to stay out of it. I don't want to leave any votes, but I know Alex gets stuck into it a little bit. I don't have Facebook, luckily enough too, so I actually can't have a vote.
Oh, fair enough. Very diplomatic response of you there. Oh, good. So let's get into the recent announcements, Mick. Some big news for recreational anglers in the state. What's your perspective on it, mate? Really good news, or sort of hesitant to respond just yet until they get some runs on the board? What do you think?
Oh, look, from what they've announced already, I think it's only good things. They finally put some money to the table about the buyback of the licences, and they want to reduce the licences from the 307 that we have down to between 100 and 150 licences, from what they say. So, if that process is handled in the right way, then it's going to reduce the amount of stress from the commercial guys. The commercial guys that are actually fishing using their licences will obviously benefit from it as well, because there's going to be more fish for them to catch too, with the less of the pool of people selling them. So overall, I think our fish stocks, and it'll make South Australia a little bit more sustainable. you know, like in the years gone by, we look at snapper. We can't catch a snapper at the moment because there is none, they reckon, you know. So we've overfished them. And I won't blame the commercial solely. You know, RecFishers have had a part to play in it. You know, I wouldn't say out of greed, but technology's growing a lot too, you know. Back in the day, everyone just had a boat with a simple sounder. They'd go out to a spot or an area that they knew, they'd anchor up there early, and if they caught some snapper, that was it. Now we've got GPSs, you know, that'll put you right on the spot. You've got sounders that will give you a picture of exactly what's on the bottom 120 feet out either side of the boat, so you can go and find fish a lot easier now. So I just think that it's made us a little bit smarter as well.
That's an interesting point. I haven't really sort of thought about how much of an impact that would have had, but I suppose if you put $1,000 or more of electronics in every boat, it's going to increase their chances, isn't it?
Yeah, for sure. And you know, like when I was a kid, there wasn't too many mates that had boats. There was like one or two.
Yeah.
And they were fishing for whiting or garfish or something. Not many actually fished for snapper, but look how many boats are out there chasing snapper these days.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, there's certainly you don't have to follow too much stuff on Facebook to see when they start going hot. There's people who just smash them time and time again. So I definitely agree with you. I think the news is a win-win, and we've all played a part in it. But importantly, we're on the road to recovery, and I think it's good news for the state in general.
Yeah, spot on.
Now, other news, Mick, we've been following your work through RecFish with the reservoirs opening up across the state to fishing. Some habitat work you did at the Warren Reservoir a few months ago. How's that going?
Yeah, that's going good. So that was we did some clay pots we put in for Murray cod hatchery things, hopefully in the future. So you know, that was combined with Ozfish as well. So we won't take all the credit, but yeah, no, it's great. You know, look, if you take the Warren for example, that's probably one of the best fishing reservoirs that we've got at the moment, and it's 3 to 4 years in since we put fish, and now you can pretty much go there and catch a legal size scallop or a 50 centimetre plus cod and the occasional silver perch. So, you know, how good's that?
And we've certainly seen some pictures of some Murray cod coming out. Are they coming out of the areas where you put the habitat in, or what do you think?
Similar areas. I wouldn't suggest that they're anywhere near ready, or, you know, they might make some... I just think that it takes a little bit of time, you know, just because you put a home in there straight away. You know, it's exactly like building a reef or something like that. You know, you've got to wait for a little bit of crustacean, a little bit of algae to grow on it, because, you know, if you chuck the clay pot in straight away, it might spook it out. What's this thing in my home? But, you know, I hope they are. I hope they're using them. It'd be great if they are. That'd be fantastic. Yeah,
certainly. Now, we've got another question on the reservoirs. This is one, we had Tim Whetstone on the show last week, and a good mate of the show, Jake Rishbeth, we asked for some questions, and he saw some great potential for trout fishing in some of the other reservoirs in the south of the city, particularly the Kangaroo Creek and Mount Bold reservoirs. Is there any push to open up some more freshwater fisheries? Yeah,
definitely. You know, we made a proposal that all of them reservoirs be open.
Yes.
And we also had a little bit of a proposal about what was going to be stocked into them. So, you know, I know they've just put golden perch and that into Maiponga, but that's definitely an option for trout as well in the future.
Yeah.
You've just got to look at as a risk factor with the reservoirs, so runoff areas. You know, like, I'm not a scientist by any means, but I know that in some cases releasing trout into a reservoir could also be bad things, because they'll get out into the streams that run off the reservoir. So, you know, if we just got to base it on risks, I know that Mount Bold and Kangaroo Creek are two fantastic reservoirs for trout, and that was one of our proposals. So I think he's hit the nail on the head. I didn't hear what Tim said on that one, but I'd hope he'd be thinking about it.
It was certainly a similar answer. He certainly said we'll continue looking at more waterways that we can open up, but similar to you, he said that it's not just a case of dropping fish in there and letting them go. It's got to be researched about, you know, access and facilities and things like that as well.
Yeah. I know it seems silly, but you've got to think of all the things, all the factors, you know, like if we put a species into a reservoir that got out and got into the streams that run off of it, if there was native species like your Congolese and them sort of fish like blackfish and that, if we destroyed that, that'd be no good either. So we just got to think of the big picture there. But I think Minister Spears and Minister Whetstone there have made a commitment to open them up as many as they can. I know that SA Water's got plenty of cash to chuck at stocking, and we've spoken to them about that, and we're hoping that we can definitely play a role in it too.
Absolutely, it's good to get those heads around the table and make sure the right decisions are made, because it would be fantastic to see some of those reservoirs open. It can only be good for the state, because we know getting people to those areas supports small business and all sorts of other flow-on effects. So we look forward to seeing what happens with that, but certainly with you guys at the table, we know there'll be some good decisions made for the recos.
Yeah, for sure. One little bomb I will drop that's not yet out the bags. This is a little cat that I'll open the bag up with.
Here we go. This is for the listeners. Hold on.
Here we go. This one, just make sure you pencil this one in, everyone. We've got a little bit of an idea that we've sort of run past the Premier of the state, and we're going to go into further discussions with him, but running a tagging competition similar to what they've got in Darwin. Nowhere near the money. We don't have $1 million to throw at it, but we've spoken to some people. We've got some sponsorship and stuff, and if we can get all the T's crossed and the I's dotted, well then this summer there could potentially be a tagging competition with some money involved at 3 reservoirs in South Australia. So make sure you go out and get a permit. Keep your ears open, your eyes on social media, and you'll find out.
We might have to head down and start practicing by the sounds, Mick.
I would.
So that's similar to the $1 million barra they run in the NT, isn't it?
Yeah, pretty much the same as that. There'll be X amount of tagged fish caught and captured by RecFish SA board members, so we're excluded from the comp, unfortunately, but we'll have the fun in catching them in the first place and tagging them and then letting them go.
Will those tags be going into golden perch or Murray cod, or what's the plan?
Both is the idea at the moment. Yeah,
no, good.
Fantastic.
Very good to hear.
So, mate, we can't thank you enough for that little teaser for our listeners. That's fantastic.
No worries. We thought it's a great time to be able to do it. We're going through COVID, and there's a lot of businesses in them rural areas that are probably struggling at the moment with restrictions put on them. So, if we could bring people to the regions for a reason, that's better for everyone, not just for fishing.
Absolutely. And Mick, I'm not going to push my luck, mate, because you've just given us a great little teaser there, but are there any other projects on the horizon?
There is, yep. Yeah, there's we've made a proposal to the, you put me on the spot, I can't remember their name, but we've made a proposal for the southeast of South Australia to call it the Kakadu of the South. Okay. And there's over 100 water bodies down there that are unused or empty. If we could tap into that and make them an awesome fishery as well, then we could have a whole state. We could have a whole trail from the southeast right up to Aruna Dam there at Lee Creek, fishing reservoirs, smacking big cod, trout, golden perch, you name it.
That'd be awesome.
And what sort of fish would you try and stock down there, you reckon, Mick? Murray cod, or too cold for them, or what do you think?
No, Murray cod would go in there all right. We just have to watch the salinity level. So the things that are really salty, then we'd look to put other species in there. We had a permit to stock some bass, but we couldn't find the fish. So, like bass or estuary perch or something like that in a salty environment is awesome, and we don't have that in South Australia. There is some secret streams where people have done silly things and let fish go, but they're sort of kept under the hat there. But, imagine having a fishery for bass down the southeast somewhere, like Kingston or down in the Mount.
Yeah, beautiful. It certainly sounds like you're opening up plenty more opportunities and plenty more options for people to fish freshwater-wise anyway, which is great to hear, Mick.
Yeah, well, we wanted to make it an option. It's not something that we've done in South Australia ever, and we've got prime reservoirs for it. So, I know it's mainly majority focused at the freshwater at the moment, but we've got we've really been put behind a roadblock or a big brick wall with losing all the funding and the snapper fishery being shut down and the marfat coming in. They've made it really hard for us to keep going, and they made it pretty clear that they just wanted to destroy RecFish SA. But in the last few months, it's been positive. We've worked with the marfat on a few projects, and we seem to be building a bridge there and working towards the one goal, which needs to happen because the infighting between people that are all trying to do the right thing and all trying to achieve the same goal for rec anglers is stupid.
Certainly
Why are we fighting
counterproductive.
against each other to do the same thing? You know, it makes no sense whatsoever.
No, Mick, very good to hear some collaboration heading in the right direction, and thanks for all the work you've been doing to get these projects up and running.
Awesome, mate. No worries at all.
All right, thanks for coming on and giving us your time, Mick.
Fantastic. Thanks,
Champions,
Mick.
anytime.
Okay, cheers.
All right, big thank you to Mick Wilson, Chairperson of RecFishing. That was good to hear from him, Diz, wasn't it?
He was fantastic. Really good insights into RecFish. Get on there. Be a member. $50.
It's nothing, mate. Absolutely nothing for a rich man like yourself.
Oh, stitchy. You got to do it though, and I reckon when they're doing this sort of thing for the state, if you like flicking a lure around the place or walking into a reservoir, good things are coming.
It's only getting better.
Good things are coming.
Sorry, I think the other good thing to come out of all this, we've had a few similar guests, and sort of Mick and Tim, they're all on a similar pathway, aren't they?
They are.
It's good to see that all the authorities and all the different people in the industry are heading in the right direction.
Yeah, we did, and Mick's right. All of these bodies are working for recos and commercial fishermen, so it's good that we're all on the same path, and certainly, good news for the state. So I'm looking forward to seeing some of these things, develop into you being able to actually catch some more fish.
Yeah, maybe me and Pez will take you down and show you how to pull out a big Murray cod one day, Diz.
Absolutely. All right, let's get into the fishing report. Rhodey, we have got some news for the listeners.
Mate, we do. Our boy Flacky and his offsider Steely have been at it again.
What a man.
When I saw that message flick through from Steely, he sent us a message on the way back to the boat ramp.
Yes.
Couldn't see the whole fish, but it looked bloody big. It was wrapped up in a bit of ice, keeping it fresh.
Do you know what I like about Flacky's post? Is that he's called that a family holiday. I just love that about the man. I'm going to take a leaf out of his book. I'm going to book a little caravan park or somewhere down at Port Mac, and I'm going to take the missus down there and hopefully get onto a barrel one day. That's just great.
So yes, Flacky and Steely at it again, a 90-kilo barrel, very, very impressive. Caught on his own lure again, the Troll So Hard lures, 10-inch bullet in the Lumo colours.
Yeah, it was a good-looking lure, wasn't it?
It was. It certainly was. And we did share that post from Flacky, so make sure you get on our Facebook and have a look at the lure, because that's what you need if you want to get the barrels, guys.
Get on there and have a read. And Flacky's doing some good stuff. He's got the spreader bars coming.
Yeah, the pink, the silver colours, I reckon they look good.
Oh, mate, he's doing some good stuff.
I reckon we're going to go to town on the Troll So Hard lures just before KI next year, aren't we?
I'm going to have to start saving now. I'm worried.
Yeah, I've booked it in. So January next year, the house on KI is a goer. So the tuna better be playing the game.
They better play the game. They sort of, we missed out this year. We've told the listeners about that, but we'll be back bigger and better than ever.
And I think we've learned a lot. We're better fishermen than 2 years ago.
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. All right, well, that was good news about the tuna. And certainly some exciting stuff from Flacky.
And there have been other catches popping up on the Facebook as well, so they're not the only one getting a barrel. So if you do have a big enough boat, enough Troll So Hard lures, that'd be where I'd be heading.
Absolutely, mate. You got to get on them, that's for sure. And the winter whiting, they are, well, as you said, mate, we're not in winter yet, but they're starting to fire. We're seeing more and more stuff on Facebook, and we're doing all right ourselves.
Yep, you nipped over in amongst a bit of average weather, pulled a few out of the corkweed, didn't you, mate?
Yes, we did. That's exactly what we did.
How many did you get?
We got 9 in total. It was a little bit of hard work. We me and the old man, Davo, had some theories, which was good to listen to.
He's always got theories.
Yeah, really good, takes me back to the young days about how to stitch a cockle up properly. Just great tips from the old man. So
talk us through stitching a cockle.
Like just stitching it up with
Do you mean threading it onto your hook, or is that stitching?
Whatever you want to call it, mate. Getting the cockle, you got to go through the black bit last. That's the bit they love.
Yeah.
So, there's just there's wives' tales out there, isn't there?
There's little nuggets of gold from day one. You just got to soak them in.
You do. You got to absolutely love them. But yeah, look, we got 9. It was good to find some spots in close we could get to with the ordinary weather. So, corkweed, that's the way to go. I'm sure everybody knows about that. But we got around them.
So I'd just like to make one little point here, Diz. So you went over to the shack 2 weekends in a row, did you?
Did.
Who was your company weekend one?
Who
Who was there the first
Here
weekend?
we go. You give it to us, mate.
Oh, I was there, wasn't I? That's right.
I knew you'd like this.
Yeah. How many did we get the bag?
We got the bag.
What happened the second weekend?
Mate, we couldn't get
was
the
I
A
there?
spots. We couldn't
Was
get
I there
A
the second
spots.
weekend?
Seriously. What an absolute joke that is.
We'll let the listeners decide on that, but I'd say on the good luck.
Mate, I tell you what, the bloke off the Kingscote Jetty on KI, he did better than us.
Mate, there were some bloody impressive photos coming from that jetty.
Unbelievable. And a massive squid I saw too.
Yeah, no. If
Absolute
you're over on the island at the
monster.
moment, I'd be getting a deck chair and setting up for a little evening on the Kingscote Jetty. It's very rare to get that many whiting land-based.
But you do hear that Kingscote Jetty fishes very well.
Yeah, it certainly does. Only problem with us is we're only over on KI in the summertime.
Yeah, I know. We should make a trip over there to see if we couldn't smash them into whiting.
I also reckon Island Beach should be gangbusters this time of year.
It would be. Good point. And while we're on KI, we've got to talk about the best charter operator on the island, Gav.
On the island or on the state? In the state.
Good call.
Certainly the best charter operator I've been out with.
Gav Solly, absolute legend. Western River Fishing Adventures.
KI Fishing Adventures?
Something like that.
I think it's KI Fishing Adventures.
We're going to share it on Facebook. I don't care what it is. Remember that name, Gavin Solly. He smashes the fish. Those whiting he put up on Facebook were massive.
Yeah, so we'll share the video. He was over at Neptune Island and there was a big old esky full of stomper whiting, some crates full of massive nanagai, and Diz, you gave him a call and said, Gav, talk us through it, mate. And what did he tell you?
Gav's favourite trip, Neptune Island. He loves it. It's an overnighter. You got to do at least a couple of days with him. His preference is 3 days, but they smashed it there.
And how big did he say those whiting were? Because they looked like absolute kidney slappers.
He said over 60 centimetres, just about all of them. 2.5 kilo fish.
How many fillets do you?
Oh mate, that's almost feeding the family.
I reckon one fillet would feed you for a week.
Unbelievable. They were huge.
Very impressive videos they were.
They were, and we shouldn't be surprised by that. Gav is a great day out on the boat. We've had some fantastic time with him. He's been smashed. First the fires, then some pretty ordinary weather and everything going against him. COVID, no travellers to the island. He's back up and running. We're going to do a KI episode because we love the place, and we're going to try and get Gav on the show. So wait to hear for that one, guys, because that'll be a beauty.
He's got some stories, the great man.
He will. Brody, where have the salmon been biting?
Now, sounds like they're scattered realistically all over the place. So some smaller fish around Port Noarlunga and O'Sullivan Beach. So Diz, maybe knock off work early one day and go smash a few salmon.
Lovely part of the world down there at Port Noarlunga. I do like it. And they've been getting some smaller fish, haven't they?
Yeah, some bigger ones at Waipinga.
Yeah.
And Browns Beach has been hot, which it always is this time of year.
Yeah, Browns Beach. It's good. Lovely spot down there too.
It is. So I've been hearing the pilchards have been doing the damage, but normally your sort of metal lures will do some good work as well.
Yeah, you got to, well, particularly for Browns, you just got to scope out the schools, haven't you?
You do.
It's
good to just get up above them, up in the dunes, and have a look where they are.
Yeah.
From that higher elevation, you can really sort of see through the water a bit better and see the schools.
Yeah, and get down there, support the regions. That's a lovely part of the world, the national park, isn't it?
Yeah, certainly is, mate.
Brilliant. And
all right.
We've been seeing some flatties, haven't we?
Yeah. Big flathead caught shore-based over on the Eyre Peninsula. Plenty caught on soft plastics is what I've been hearing.
They love soft plastics, don't they?
This certainly seems to be the flathead time of year, doesn't it?
Yeah. Paddle tails, you reckon? Or
Yeah, I reckon.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Plenty of different colours. Choose follow someone on
The
Facebook.
silvers and the whites seem to do a bit of damage.
Yeah, I'm sure there's theories on that, but, they love soft plastics.
They do. That's something we've got to do better at, mate.
Yeah, we did well on the flatties last weekend. That was...
Yeah, but I mean the soft plastics. We dabble, but we never really commit, do we?
Yeah, no, we don't. Good point. We'll do that. Now that we can get out and get around it a bit more, we'll be out there. The Murray cod. Geez, it was good to hear from Mick about the Murray cod.
Wasn't it? And I've seen a few pictures on the social media of fish up over a metre.
Yeah. Oh, that's some great
Good fish.
Absolutely.
And also some smaller ones. As I think Mick mentioned, there's been some smaller ones caught locally in the Warren Reservoir and a few others, sort of around that 50 centimetre mark. So that's
Pez will be salivating, won't he?
Oh, mate, that's a good fish for locally.
Absolutely.
So, Mick told us about them, so make sure you took some notes on where Mick said to go and get the big Murray cod.
Yeah, I reckon just put a tag on Mick. He sounds like he knows what's what.
And I know what I'm doing after this episode.
What are you doing?
I'm hitting up Facebook Marketplace and getting one of them big old lures.
Oh, good point. Good point. If they're out there in circulation, we want one.
There's 1,000 of them.
Yeah. All right, we'll get on the hunt for that. Okay, and the squid, Rhodey.
Yeah, both sides of the York Peninsula are apparently firing. You couldn't pull any in the other day, but maybe the water was a bit murky, was it?
Yeah, we didn't do too well. Certainly the ruffled weather, churns the water up a bit.
Yeah.
You don't get those lovely clear water still days where you can really get around it.
Yeah. There's nothing quite like a beautiful still day and seeing the squid come up to your teaser line, is it?
Oh yeah, and when they, they just hunt in packs, don't they?
And when they go for one colour and don't take it, and then you dangle the other colour in front of their face?
That's a typical you move, mate.
It always works. They never want the first colour, they always want the second.
You just come in and steal the glory.
Mate, I don't care how I get the glory as long as I get it.
Typical.
And I was good at netting the squid last weekend, wasn't I?
Horrible. You squid it like 3 times.
That's part of the fun, mate.
Shocking, mate. Shocking.
All right, that's about it for the fishing report, guys.
Yeah, that's about it, isn't it?
It's getting towards the end of the episode, really, isn't it?
Yeah, we're wrapping it up. But boy, we're going to have some good stuff on Facebook and Instagram.
Yeah, we haven't plugged the social media, but make sure you get on it. All the gear but no idea. Facebook and Instagram. We want you to get interactive with us. We've had some good photos sent through.
Yeah.
And we're more than happy to share your pics of all your fishing adventures across the state.
Yeah, I reckon long weekend we're gonna have some people. Hopefully the weather plays the game, and we're gonna have some people out there smashing the fish. So get around it. Jump on Facebook, post it up there. We will definitely share it for you. Send it in. It'll be fantastic.
Now, just about all we've got time for here, Diz, but you have been talking up a very, very, very strong game about this joke.
Yes, well, I have, because as much as I did get some poor feedback about what a treat we have today, we have not got a single bit of good feedback about the jokes. They've all been very ordinary, and I'm just mixing it up. We're going to you rate yourself as a bit of a riddle king. You think you're some sort of bloody riddle guru, and I'm just here to undo you. I hope I do, but we're going to give him about 10 seconds or so. If not, we're going to if he doesn't get it, we're going to do a quick wrap up, and then we're going to post the answer sometime after we've released the episode as to the answer. And we're going to see whether any listeners can get around it. You ready?
All right, mate.
Okay, here's the riddle. 2 fathers and 2 sons went fishing one day. Everybody having a blast out there on the boat, enjoying the day. At the end of the day, everyone caught a fish, but there was only 3 fish caught. None were lost, none were thrown back, and none were eaten. How is this possible?
Can you read the first part of the riddle again?
2 fathers and 2 sons went fishing one day.
All right, here's my theory.
Okay, give it to us.
There's only 3 people on the boat, a grandfather, a father, and a son. So it's 3 generations, isn't it?
He's good. He's happy with himself.
I've nailed it.
He's happy with himself.
I thought I had it. I just wanted to
the
hear the first bit to confirm. That was sharp.
That was unbelievably sharp.
Do you think we could make
Have you
a
heard
bit?
that before?
No.
Nah, I don't believe. I reckon
Absolutely nailed it.
Can't believe it.
I could see that coming a long way off.
That's impressive. Don't give me a riddle, mate. I will never get it.
On another note, if any of our listeners have a good fishing riddle, send it through to me privately, and I will give it to Dizzy on the next episode, and we will see if he can live up to my lofty standards.
I don't think I can. That was very impressive. All right, we had a fantastic episode for you today. Get around some of the stuff we're going to share on Facebook, because Mick Wilson was a fantastic guest. Thanks a lot for him coming on the show, and we had some good stuff in the news and the report. Rhodey, anything for the listeners?
No, have a good long weekend. Make sure you get out there and catch some fish, and let us know what you're up to, guys.
All right, cheers, guys. Bye.
See ya.
Rhodey and Diz hope you enjoyed today's episode of All the Gear But No Idea. Keep up to date by liking and sharing us on Facebook and Instagram. And you can subscribe on all the major podcast platforms. Until next time, Good luck fishing.